This is week one of the 10-week class that you'll be attending. In this first week, we will be covering chapters 1 and 2 in the textbook, as well as 1 and 2 in the workbook. We will be discussing the various regulatory agencies and international organizations which you will generally deal with in your career as in aviation. The FAA is one of the major regulatory agencies with which you deal, but that regulatory agency has within it many sub-agencies with which you must be very familiar. Things like the air traffic control system obviously would be controlled by the FAA, but there are other areas that you may not think that would be definitely aviation related, but nonetheless controlled by the FAA. All of the ground-based aids to navigation are taken care of by the FAA. There are certain aspects of records. Record keeping is all done by the FAA, not only the certification of pilots and mechanics and dispatchers and various other people involved in aviation, but the licensing of aircraft and the fact that all registration of aircraft is taken care of in Oklahoma City. The FAA is a huge agency employing many people in various capacities. There are many, the ones with whom you would probably become most acquainted will be the inspectors, the FAA inspectors from the flight safety district offices, such as the one we have in Fresno and another one in Los Angeles. The FSDO inspectors are the people who will be doing most of your contact with you as a pilot. Because you're embarking on a career in aviation or the aerospace industry, you may have already had some exposure to the federal aviation regulations by the time you take this course. But whether you have or not, whether you're going to be in the industry or you're going to seek a job in the government, you're going to deal with questions of administrative agency regulations. Now, the hearings and the offenses that are conducted, the hearings conducted about offenses with the FAA are administrative hearings. They're not criminal, they're administrative. That means there are different aspects of legal behavior that are required by you and by the person who is seeking to address you on a violation. The regulations establish the standards of legal behavior against which a judge or jury will decide should the matter go that far. Chapter 1 provides an overview of the administrative agencies most directly involved in aviation to introduce you to the specific role of each agency, along with the increasing trend toward international cooperation in many areas of regulation. Congress and the executive branch of the government continually restructure and reorganize federal administrative agencies. We will be teaching this course so that you can keep track of what is going on in the aviation industry, because you understand that the rules that are set forth by the FAA come through there, and there is a process called federal rule making, which must be given an opportunity for people who will be involved in those rules to discuss. We will also discuss the manner in which the FAA enforces those regulations. The inspectors, what is required by you, what is required by the inspector. Remember I said they are administrative proceedings, which means they are not criminal proceedings. You are not entitled to the same kind of admonitions that you would in a criminal case. They don't have to tell you that what you may say will be used against you. The Miranda warnings are not required because it's administrative, but you may still require that the person addressing you provide you with proper identification and a picture identification. Be courteous to the inspectors at all times. However, you will learn in this case that it's a better idea to tell the inspector that you wish to speak with your counsel before you go any further in discussing the matter with him. Be courteous at all times to these people. They are doing a job. They're trying to keep us all alive.